Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant, and here's the thing. 1. I was going to go into great detail about why Hollyland's $550 combination monitor video transceiver, their Mars M1, $1,000 for a pair, is so very interesting to me personally. 2. I was going to offer you a couple of real-world use cases of ours. A tightly controlled 3-camera studio shoot on the one hand, a single-camera gimbal shot in bright sunlight on the other, to help illustrate why. 3. Irrespective of our use cases, I was also going to explain that the M1 is basically a mashup of, a halfway point between, an Atomos Shinobi right down to the 5-inch or so diagonal touch-sensitive display, connected to an Accsoon Cineview SE transmitter or receiver. Every M1 can serve as either, and are even better, I think, when paired with each other. And an Atomos Ninja 5 with that same Cineview SE unit. 4. I was going to tell you that the M1's capture assists are, in fact, to my eye, eerily like those found in the Atom OS, if not quite as polished. Yet, Hollyland has been able to cram all of this goodness into a single chassis, essentially identical in size to the Shinobi or a little bit thicker Ninja alone, save for a pair of small mushroom-sized antennae. And the M1 is quieter to boot, at least for the first few minutes that I bothered listening to it. 5. I was going to tell you that the M1 comes with an iOS app called Hollyview that makes it great for a hybrid mirrorless camera shooter. But with ports, full-sized HDMI in and out, SDI in, USB-C, and DTAP, that make it a surprisingly useful solution for dedicated video camera shooters too, something like a Sony FX6. But instead of all that, you will have to make do with what I've told you thus far, and the 2 clips I've just narrated for you, so that I can simply cut to the chase, because that sound you hear, glub glub, is me drowning in deliverables before we fly to Europe in a couple of weeks for our first Streets of London workshop, and then do a bunch of location scouting on the continent for 2024. So, bottom line, the M1 is a highly functional, actively cooled, well-built, well-equipped, well-designed, bright, innovative, and accessibly priced monitor/Wi-Fi video transmitter and receiver, a next-level tool for small, serious production companies, even 1- or 2-man bands, across a wide swath of use cases. Buy a pair of them, and you can do things for somewhere in the neighborhood of half the size and weight, at a price between 15% and 30% less, with a whole lot less futzing and schlepping and losing things going on than for a similarly capable Atomos Ninja or Shinobi Accsoon Cineview setup. Although, for those of us who want a more robust recording capability, the Ninja 5 remains the way to go, since it has a wider range of recording formats and frame rates, and most importantly uses a removable, heavy-duty pro-grade SSD, while the Hollyview app records only to the iOS device on which it is running. Oh, and the M1 does not have the mic jack that the Ninja does, although it does have a headphone jack. Nits? Get it? Well, like every video transmitter I've ever tried, latency is an issue if your intention is to use it for focus pulling. Latency between the 2 M1 units when held next to each other was quite good, really. But latency between our Lumix S5 II and the transmitter sitting atop it was, unusable for that purpose. But I don't think it was the M1 per se, because the latency between the camera and the M1 atop it and the Ninja 5 was about the same. B. Also, like every video transmitter I've ever tried, boot up and handshake times feel like an eternity when you're in the middle of a production, though in point of fact, they are sub-minute. C. I do wish the M1 had a mic jack for those times when, as a YouTuber, I'm feeding commentary and notes to the recording monitor, typically down in the batch studio, while testing a camera or lens. For this purpose, by the way, Hollyview's iOS device recording is just fine. D. I do wish the Hollyview were even simpler to use. It took me a few tries before I figured things out. Yeah, I didn't actually figure things out. I emailed Hollyland, and they were able to walk me through it via email. Apart from all of this, I can't address, I wish I could, reliability. I just haven't had sufficient time with it used in anger to make a judgment. But so far, so good. In the end, my experience with the M1 suggests that it would be just about ideal for what I'll call our Coney Island type use case. That is, where one needs a bigger, brighter monitor on the camera than what the camera's rear panel can supply, and one wants a compact monitor, still bigger, brighter, and less susceptible to dimming than an iPhone for the director as well. That is, for compositional, focus, and exposure purposes. In this scenario, it is also much better, with far less futzing, than dedicated monitors or monitor recorders, which do not have integrated transceivers, or integrated transmitters, or integrated receivers. Because now we're talking about twice as many batteries to take or misplace, twice as many HDMI cables to take or misplace or break, more to schlep. You get the idea. On the other hand, considering our 3-camera shoot, I will put a link to our Used in Anger series down below or somewhere up above so that you can get a better sense for what I'm talking about. I think I'll just have to wait until someone comes up with a compact, accessibly priced solution that allows at least 3 different camera feeds to be displayed and customized wirelessly, not through an Ethernet cable, and the feeds themselves wirelessly controlled, because there are apps that can control, let's say, the A10 Mini Pro through an Ethernet cable, all on a single screen, ideally through an iOS app. Still, to my pleasant surprise, the M1 is, to this point, a well-sorted, novel piece of kit, and I like it. But how do you imagine you might use it? Are there other tools you've used that work especially well, or please would solve my 3-camera shoot issues? I'd love to know what you think in the comments section below. If you like what you've seen here today, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join the conversation in the comments section below, because this is an exceptional audience. If you'd like help with a portfolio review, gear selection, finding or honing your artistic voice, sign up for a one-on-one mentoring video call via Zoom at 3bmep.com/booking. Finally, please consider supporting our work by using the no-cost to you affiliate links down below, sending us coffee money via PayPal, or most especially, joining us on Patreon, links down below as well. However you choose to support us, as always, we thank you for it.